against mine.
Okay, screw this. I'm coming in. Tripwire in 3, 2, 1.
Speakers
Oh,
and radios
hi again.
interfere with the bomb caller frequency and can trigger the detonators prematurely.
Oh, I can see them.
It is an unfortunate side effect, one I did not anticipate. I was unable to calibrate the callers to block the signals. So, you'll have to make do.
Yeah, you made that clear the first time, and I'm not exactly thrilled the second time you're telling me that either. So, am I supposed to just stand here and shoot them? I'd rather not startle the mutant, even though he is in a cage. What's the range of this thing? Fucking massive, that's my answer right there. God damn it. And how much time do I have before the collar explodes? Can I just run to it and switch it off? If that's what he's expecting me to do, then he is out of his fucking mind.
Noise makes my stomach.
You what now? Okay, let's have this conversation later, please. Oh my god. Okay, second radio overlapping the first. It's almost like someone deliberately placed these things to catch me out. Never mind tripwires. This is the real trap. Oh. Okay, a radio under the desk? Someone tell me that's not deliberate. I fucking dare them. But, yep. Oh, imagine if I didn't see that. The panic alone would have cost me a few precious seconds. This is beyond reckless.
Turn the noise off.
Oh, I'm sorry, did I disturb you there? You might not believe this, but the noise I'm making is nothing compared to your head exploding. And chances are there's another radio around the corner. But you know what? We don't need to deal with that. Let's get you out of here right now and get back to the fountain. Oh. Well. Hey, bit of a long shot, but I don't suppose you have the key to open this, do you? No? Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay then, who put you in here? I want to go say hi.
Puts dog in the cage, hiding downstairs.
Ah, they're still here. Okay, well now things make sense. They used you as bait, and the radios to finish off whoever comes for you. Well, joke's on them, that would destroy my gear, so no loot for any of them. Oh, look who called it. Never thought I'd say this, but I'm right and I don't like it. Well, it's a good thing I can hear the scramble signal before the caller does. But that won't necessarily be the case if I'm in the middle of a firefight.
He's watching, waiting for you to try and let me go.
Oh yeah? Well, I hope he's getting a good laugh out of this. My frustrations need to go somewhere, and I think his face might be the perfect destination. Okay, peace and quiet. If there's gonna be noise, it better be coming out of me and nowhere else. You see, what our friend downstairs doesn't know is that I'm used to running back and forth between machinery. Just ask that scribe in the Brotherhood bunker. This is small fry compared to those infected terminals. Though granted, the stakes were much lower.
So hungry.
Oh shit, how long have you been locked up in here? You should have said something. I have more than enough pre-war chemicals for you to eat, and I know better than to keep a mutant hungry. Oh, and I just realized you're not just any mutant either. Fucking coded yet again. I just can't get enough chupacabras in my life. Well, there you go. It's not much, but I swear I didn't find them in a trash can. Are you gonna come and get them? Look, these should keep you satisfied for now. We'll get some gourmet meals once we get out of here, okay? Actually, you know what? Beggars can't be choosers, and that's the best I've got. I'll just leave you to eat them in your own time while I look for a way to open that cell. That said, do I really want to do that? What if he attacks me the moment he's loose?
Makes dog hurt self.
Who? The guy downstairs? I'm starting to think he's not actually talking to me at all. But yeah, if it comes down to it... Oh god, someone was still locked up in here when the bombs fell? Or not? What the hell? That was unlocked. This person did try to both pull and push the door, right? Or maybe someone else picked the lock before me. Either way, you look comfortable where you are. Thanks for the vodka. I'll just let you rest now. I wonder what happened to the guards.
So hungry.
Look, buddy, I left you food. Go get them. God helps those who help themselves. What did Joshua say? We can't expect God to do all the work? Not quite the same thing. But, oh wow, is this what that line is referring to? What a sick fuck! I mean, what was this person supposed to do? Try to grow their arm longer? Maybe dislocate their shoulders so that they can touch the bottles but not drag them back. Fucking heartless. Oh god, no.
Makes dog hurt self.
Oh, I can absolutely imagine that. I mean, this person really did try to dislocate their shoulder. Well, that does it. Whoever this guy is, I'm assuming he's the same one who wrote that line on the wall. If so, he could go straight to hell. I'll happily be the facilitator, Satan. This one's on me. Then we'll see if God is willing to help him. Unless he's got his own collar. If so, you're gonna have to wait a little longer while I figure this one out, Satan. I mean, what do you care? Time is of no consequence to you. Ooh, what are you doing here?
Master, help me. Master, help me. Please.
Master? Oh god, of course. It's like Marcus said, super mutants really like to latch onto a master figure. Oh, I hope nobody ever tells that guy in the Atomic Wrangler about that. Fisto might end up with some competition. What is this? Vending machine code weapon repair kit? Oh, well now, that's more like it. If this works, then my respect for this technology is going to increase tenfold.
Get away while you can, before he comes back.
Look, I appreciate your warnings, but this is one of those I'm not trapped in here with him, he's trapped in here with me situations. Or rather, it would be if I can find the armory. But, as I was saying, while I'm still dubious about eating food made out of these metal chips, I have no qualms about using tools and spare parts made from them. Okay, maybe I should qualify that slightly. I would still have some doubts over the physical properties.
Help me. Master, help me. Please.
You're just repeating yourself now, but I'm guessing you don't even realize that. You haven't even tried to take the food. There's only so much I can do to help, you know what I mean? I'm not a trained psychiatrist. I can only go by experience. Grandma was at least coherent. You are just outputting random thoughts. But I can't even blame you for that. I don't know a damn thing about your mental state.
Makes dog hurt itself.
For all I know, what worked with Grandma could have the opposite effect with you. Now I really need to find a better gun and hopefully some armor. You know, as an insurance policy. Speaking of which, here we go. A helmet with a visor. Exactly what the doctor ordered. I don't actually expect this thing to protect my eyes, but, you know, I hear that the placebo effect is particularly good for your health. Okay, wow, this thing just about clears the collar. I was about to say I hope I find some armor too, but I'm not sure I can even put it on. At the very least, I'll have to cut my way through this jumpsuit first. But until then, let's hope this helmet can deflect one of those spears, or withstand a rampaging mutant trying to crush my skull. He might just rip my head off, but at least my face will stay intact.
I'll be good this time. I promise, Master. Just keep him away.
Then again, maybe I'm overthinking this. Whoever this master figure he's talking about sounds like a nasty piece of work. I bet he has a whip or a cattle prod. So there's a good chance Mr. Chupacabra here is too mentally scarred to do anything too violent against me. Unless, of course, his master orders him to. So yeah, is this master the guy in the hologram or whoever put him in this cage?
Get away while you can, before he comes back.
Honestly, I'd rather wait for him to come to me than the other way around. He could have left all kinds of traps downstairs. At least up here, the radios are down. Also, I'm not ready yet. Still need a proper gun first. Wow, even the cops had to endure marketing propaganda. Gotta live, breathe, and think Sierra Madre, and nothing else. That woman on the poster must have been the most wanted person in this whole casino. Not sure if that's a blessing or a curse. I guess this is what happens when a business builds a town. The inhabitants have to be constantly reminded to buy from the host business and nowhere else. And if the guy in the hologram is to be believed, this whole place is built with the philosophy of bare minimum. Gotta keep the bean counters happy or they'll presumably stone you to death with those beans. I have to wonder, if House succeeded and took over Vegas just like how he wanted, would he have pulled this kind of crap on the people of the Mojave? Sure, he said he wouldn't care about being a tyrant and controlling people's lives. Just like I said I will go back to my roots and stop trying to get involved in things that don't concern me. Doesn't mean that's gonna happen. Though, to be fair, this time I wasn't even trying. The man upstairs had different plans. In which case, I don't know what I should have done differently. Maybe just leave the bunker the moment I saw the dead body? In that case, I wouldn't be able to set foot in 90% of all pre-war buildings. Besides, ask anyone who grew up in the wasteland. Dead bodies don't mean jack shit to us other than how much we can loot from them. I suppose if the body is fresh, then it could be a sign that whoever killed the guy is still in the vicinity. But how often does that stop your average wastelander from scoping out a joint? Especially when they're heavily armed like I was. Besides, even if I was extra careful, I still would have had to explore every room in that bunker to make sure the killer wasn't still there. And that would have set off that trap regardless. Point is, this was not my fault. I had no chance. Anyway, what am I dealing with here? Disengage contraband room lock? Yes please. Let's hope contraband means deadly weapons and not industrial strength chemicals pretending to be safe for human consumption. It could include both, to be fair. Prohibited items. Ooh, are you gonna tell me exactly what to expect in the party room? Sinclair's prohibition list is gonna be difficult to enforce and told him so. Sinclair? Is that the owner or the police chief? He claims we're getting an automated system that will confiscate items even the slightest bit radioactive or foreign and ship them back to the visitor's source address. Ah, the magic strip search system. I bet that caused a few lawsuits. How the hell does it know what's foreign and what isn't? Is this another example where you're only allowed to buy shit provided by the Sierra Madre and nowhere else? Asked about the items already in the villa, didn't mention the construction crew, and he dismissed it. Uh-oh. Construction crew? Did they figure out a way around the system? Of course, no sooner than Sinclair gives his prohibition speech, his pal swings by the same hour, asking how hard-nosed we were going to be. Told me he couldn't guarantee he could keep me supplied if I didn't treat his friends with the same respect. Prick. Oh my. I've barely set foot into the police station and we're already learning about bribery. Good to know that corruption never changes. Security system installation? Ooh, can't wait to see the technical details. I bet the 3 families in Vegas would kill to get their hands on something like this. And I'm also glad the house didn't use it in the penthouse. Sinclair installed a new security system for visitors coming into and out of the villa. He doesn't seem to care too much about what they do when they're inside, only that we confiscate any personal items that could be dangerous or foreign, and make sure we know who enters and who leaves. Asked him again about watching the construction crews. He said that was a villa matter. Great, that means the prick runs the show. As long as there were no more accidents among the crews, that's what he cared about. Wait, so he cared about what the visitors were bringing in, but not the construction crew? I don't get it. It's all going to end up in the casino or the villa. That's a massive hole in the security system. Why even bother enforcing it among the visitors in the first place? If anything, I would expect the construction crew to bring in the worst stuff. Barely tucked my flask under the desk before he showed up. He gets that disapproving look when he sees the hard stuff. Yeah, you see, you can't even keep the police in check. Don't you just love the idea of cops with loaded firearms drinking on the job? This place could have used a few Securitrons. But hang on a minute, if the automated system delivers the prohibited items back to the original address, then why did they need a contraband room? Ooh, clearly things did get through even with the cops ignoring the construction crew.
Don't let him make me hurt myself. Hurt keeps him away.
My god, there's a lot to unpack with you. First of all, how many voices do you have in your head right now? If it's more than 3, then you need an internal HR department. Wow, people try to smuggle ammunition in here? I'm sorry, I need to defend myself in case the other guys at the poker table start to get physical. 357 Magnum rounds? Well, who needs to smuggle shit in when you could just make them with the vending machines? Good lord, this is the anarchist's wet dream.
Don't let him make me hurt myself. Hurt keeps him away.
I'll have a word with him, don't worry. But wow, I think there really were anarchists in this villa, because look at this thing. I think this is an automatic rifle of some kind. How the hell did they smuggle this past security? It's longer than my leg. Clearly, somebody got a big fat bribe out of this. I can't think of any other explanations. It fires 308 rounds too. What the hell were they gonna use this on? Well, I certainly have the firepower now, although 308 rounds are pretty damn rare. Gotta be frugal with this thing. Now that I think about it, this system clearly didn't work very well.
Help me. Master, help me. Please.
I'm working on it, okay? Steady? Oh, of course you can make drugs using the vending machines as well. What did I expect? But as I was saying, I've already found a double-barreled shotgun, a laser pistol, and a whole bunch of random ammo. Where did they come from, Sinclair? Am I supposed to believe that they all came from the vending machines? If so, maybe you shouldn't have installed those things in the first place if you really cared about security that much. Sinclair did the rounds again today. Glad he left his ghostly entourage at the casino. Those walking light shows make me wonder why he even got us on staff when they could blast us in a second. You do realize there's a bit more to policing than just shooting at things, right? How the hell do you expect the holograms to arrest people or pat them down if they can't touch them? Otherwise, Sinclair runs a tight ship. Good to see in these days and times. Does he though? Have you seen what's in the contraband room? Don't know how smart he is trying to make a resort to escape everything in the outside world, but rich guys can make it happen, even ones that have been hit hard like Sinclair has. Wait, he was in financial trouble at the time? And his answer was to build a place like this? I would hate to be that guy's accountant. Then again, I guess it didn't matter in the end. The bombs had a weird ability to make all those numbers irrelevant. Holding cell. Okay, so who were the poor bastards you left to die in there? Nothing much to report. Pretty quiet tonight, even from President Del Sol. Imagine Morris up in the casino probably has more than enough with the guests coming in tonight. Poor bastard. Doesn't he have the holograms to help him out? That's what they were made for. I guess there's a bit more to policing after all, right? Set up the radios so I can listen in on the gala event when it fires up, and left one out for the prisoners. Oh well, that explains the radio. That's so kind of you, even though it became a death trap for me 200 years later, you prick. If Sinclair doesn't want us to be too strict with the guests tonight, I may just toss the key in the holding cage with anyone we pick up and let them unlock the door when they sleep it off. Well, that clearly didn't happen for the cells in the back room. I'm pretty sure those prisoners would have appreciated the key more than the radio. And I don't even want to know how many protocols you would have broken with that little stunt. If it wasn't for the end of the world, you would have been fired for sure. Set up the radio room downstairs to broadcast through the speakers. Don't want to miss tonight's performance. The receiver down there is stronger than the desk radios we have up here. Downstairs? Oh, wonderful. That means our mysterious friend is surrounded by decayed frequencies. I'll have to deal with that too, huh? Hang on. If that's the case, how come his collar isn't going off? Does he even have a collar? Did our host let one slip through? Stash some supplies from the evidence room down there to celebrate once my shift is over. Way I figure it, the rest of the guards will be too busy to check up on me. Wow, this guy. Nice of you to leave a note about your misconduct on your terminal. Your lawyers would have loved you for that. I guess the bombs must have dropped pretty soon after this gala event or whatever it's called.
I'll be good this time. I promise, Master. Just keep him away.
Oh god, look buddy, I'm assuming your master is the guy in the hologram, in which case he sent me to come get you, okay? If you can't tell me how to open this cage, then please keep quiet while I look for the key. It wasn't in that guy's desk. Maybe he really did throw the key into the cage. But then again, whoever locked our mutant friend in there must have taken it. And then left this taboo suitcase? Who the hell is doing all this? Is it the same guy?
Makes the dog hurt itself.
Oh wow, you are very generous. Come to think of it, how the hell did this guy force a super mutant into the cage to begin with? Those things are made of solid muscle. You don't force a super mutant to do anything. Then again, we are talking about someone with an, interesting state of mind. I guess anything is possible when you take that into account. Oh, is that what I think it is? Please let this be some kind of armor. I'll take anything.
I'll be good this time. I promise, Master. Just keep him away.
It is some kind of light armor. Oh, maybe there is a god. But how the hell am I gonna put this on with this collar in the way? I have to cut my jumpsuit off, take the armor place off this suit, put on the fabric, and then somehow get the armor place back on. Oh, because of this collar. Thank you so much, you old fuck. Inventory, huh? Okay. Got the weapons and the mines in today, along with the shotguns and the ammo. Enough to defend the villa if trouble breaks out. Well, I guess that explains the double-barrel shotgun. Did pre-war police really use those? They were antiques even back then. Sinclair's taking the world situation seriously, even all the way out here. Maybe more so because we're out here. And he was right, although judging by the state of this place, he was preparing for the wrong kind of disaster. Hate to think if someone got their hands on half the stuff we have stored here, enough military ordnance to turn the villa into a minefield. Well, I guess someone must have, because I haven't come across any explosives yet. Unless, of course, that's what our friend downstairs have waiting for me. Oh joy. Dispenser report. Oh man. I wonder what the police thinks of these things that can just create ammo. Talk about a blessing and a curse. Dispensers are up and running. Unlike most everything else, we've had few problems with them. I've heard they've been part of some World's Fair exhibit Sinclair had seen, so he contacted the researchers about the dispensers to see if he could use them here. Wow, that's all it took? Just a couple of phone calls? House could have outbid him easily on this one. Good old Bobby really dropped the ball here. Turns out, dispensers do more than supply convenience items. If there's an emergency or the threat of communist attack, codes can unlock ammo and repair kits for the dispensers. Stored backups of the codes in the contraband room just in case. Oh, that wasn't confiscated from some anarchist? Well, that's good, I suppose. Then again, you can always duplicate holotapes, no matter how much they try to stop people. You wouldn't steal a Nuka-Cola. Yes I would actually. But would I trust ammo made from these chips? If they have too much powder, then you get a barrel in the eye. Oh yes, finally. A simple, honest-to-God gun. Was this too much to ask? I know it's just a basic revolver, but it's simple to load, simple to use, and simple to maintain. You can keep your fancy hollow rifle, old man in the fountain. I'll stick with this. Then again, maybe it won't be enough to decapitate the locals. But that's what the knife is for. As long as I can knock them over with the pistol, I'll fucking deal with it.
Get away while you can, before he comes back.
Oh, screw that. I have a proper gun now. He should be getting away while he can. It's also a 357 Magnum, which means I can use the vending machine code from the contraband room to keep this thing supplied. Maybe there really is a god. 9 times out of 10 he takes a shit on my life, but not this time. Another one. I'll take that. This must have been standard issue police equipment.
Get away while you can, before he comes back.
Yeah, he's in his own little world right now. Does he even know I'm here? But look at all this. This police station can honestly function as a base of operations from now on. I've got a reloading bench here. I think there was a functional hot plate in the kitchen. All I need is one of those vending machines and I can stay in here for a while. But one thing at a time. There's already a squatter down here and I'm not sharing. Sorry, but unless you're one of the handful of people I've already traveled with, you're not welcome.
Makes dog hurt self.
Okay, maybe you can stay too if you keep the crazy to yourself. I'm still not sure how or why this guy's making you do that. I mean, is he a sadist? Hello? 308 rifle rounds? Holy shit, what's this doing next to the toilet? Never mind what I said before about this automatic rifle. I could go hog wild now that I have this. Then again, if the ammo is even slightly defective, especially if it's something as powerful as a 308, yeah, maybe I should do some experiments first.
I'll be good this time. I promise, Master. Just keep him away.
Okay, I know I'm wasting my breath here, but I'm off to have a chat with your tormentor now. You're welcome. Honestly, I know crazy sadists are hardly unique in the wasteland, but if I was trapped in this villa, I would have more important things on my mind than jerking off to a chupacabra in pain. Like what I'm gonna do about the mad courier who's got many guns and many more frustrations to vent. Either way, I've given you plenty of opportunities to prepare or to run away.
So hungry.
So ready or not, here I come. Okay, first things first. Gotta watch out for tripwires. Classic traps.
Knew you would come. Below the cage.
Oh god.
Down to where I am.
Another disembodied voice.
Maybe you saw the letters I scratched on the villa walls. A little farther. Follow my voice. That's it.
I'd rather not.
The one in the cage? Dog. I had to lock him up. He keeps disobeying me.
Was that supposed to convince me you did the right thing? What is this? God is watching? Who are you calling God? Yourself? Somewhere in Zion, Joshua Graham's trigger finger is twitching and he doesn't know why. Well then, God, I have some questions. First off, why did you write your name backwards? Being illiterate is not exactly a sign of divinity. Secondly, if you're as powerful as you think you are, why are you hiding behind the speakers like the guy at the fountain? Let me witness your power firsthand. Oh, I hear that noise. Did you know about how the collar works, or was this a happy accident? I guess it doesn't matter. Still a pain in the neck. In so many ways. Is it coming from the terminal or something else? You know what? Here's a very stupid way to find out. Okay, yeah, it's definitely from that terminal. You didn't tell me about that one, old man. Ugh. Let's hope the signal can't penetrate these walls. Now, if this so-called god is smart, he would have placed a tripwire right at that doorframe. That's what I would have done. Your victim would be too preoccupied with dodging the signal to notice that. I should write this idea down for future reference. Place 2 traps so that they end up triggering one while dodging the other. But so far, other than that terminal, I'm not seeing a lot of defensive measures. What are you playing at, God? I can't believe I'm already calling you that. Ooh, magazine. But there's no way I can carry much else without a duffel bag. I'll come back for the random junk later. Eddie wouldn't let me get away with that, but he's not here, is he? Might be a good thing, actually. The little guy is sending and receiving signals all the time. It wouldn't surprise me if his very presence would set the collar off. Now, if I had Veronica with me, she would probably disarm this thing, get it off my neck, and do some kind of reverse signal tracing to find the piece of shit who did this, all before lunchtime. In fact, I bet if she could see me right now, she would be yelling at me for not knowing how to do all that because it would be that simple for her. What I wouldn't give to have her yell at me right now. Oh! here we go, another signal emitter. Have I found you, God? I'm not feeling the divinity yet. Okay, this trap is way too obvious. You're hiding right around the corner to ambush me when I try to turn off the radio, aren't you? Well, who the fuck do you think you're dealing with here? Now I can prove I'm faster than God!
That's me.
What the fuck? Oh shit.
The disc.
What?
My voice. Can't take any chances, though. You may be some victim who simply stumbled down here.
Not quite.
If so, can't let you let Dog out. No, not yet. If you're who I think you are, you came to fetch Dog. Use him to drag others here.
Well...
Now I'll use you. And that Pip-Boy you're wearing. You're smart. Clever. The key to Dog's cage is simple. Take my voice to the cage above. Let me speak to the beast inside. Then you and we can talk.
Oh, what the hell is this convoluted bullshit? If you want to talk, then let's fucking talk. You are listening to me right now, aren't you? Hello? Oh, for fuck's sake. Was that a recording or a one-way speaker, or do you just not give a shit about what I think? All three are equally plausible. Okay, get that out of the way. So, this is your voice? And that's somehow enough to get the mutant to open the cage? How? That cage was absolutely locked. Is he capable of just ripping it open? If so, that's some serious conditioning you've given him. He's acting like a helpless child right now.
Dog, back in the cage.
Wait, that's it? Back in the cage? What the hell does that mean? He's already in the cage. Huh. Must be some kind of code or trigger phrase. God damn it. As if that self-aggrandizing bastard in the hologram isn't enough, now I have to deal with another one. This villa ain't big enough for all three of us! Now, he did mention my Pip-Boy, so he clearly knows about me. That couldn't have been a recording then. Unless... Does the guy in the hologram have a Pip-Boy too? Maybe this whole thing was intended for him. If so, maybe I could turn them against each other. See who's the ultimate smartass. Gonna have to play my cards carefully though. Can't make them think I'm the biggest threat. Ooh, let's hope that really was a recording and he wasn't actually listening in. No need for him to focus his energy on me just because of my boasting. This is really not what I'm used to, holding my tongue. Gotta do a better job at this, Courier. Save the trash talking until after the collar comes off. Okay, so the signal from that radio was able to get through this wall. That's good to know. Let's have a look at what's in here anyway. Oversaw the street side vending machines installation today. All working, mostly because the casino crew was running the show. Yeah, presumably because they weren't the ones getting drunk all the time. Finally complained to the chief about the machines. They feel like a company store. We only get a few casino chips with the paycheck, so we can barely buy anything. Chief says he's not sure the chips were Sinclair's idea, only if we had any problems with the machines, let him know immediately. Huh, that's an interesting point. The system here confiscates anything foreign, so the only way you can get basic supplies is through whatever the Sierra Madre provides. Not only that, you can't even spend regular money to make these machines work. That opens up to all kinds of manipulations. Sinclair can practically maintain a small monopoly with these things. I mean, sure, he says it's not his idea, but I don't believe that for a second. Yet again, I can hear House turning in his metal casket. After another discussion with the Puesta del Sol crew, told Chief it would be difficult to enforce the prohibition list, let alone the searches. Chief had the gala on his brain, said Sinclair put construction of the villa more important than patting down the construction crews for liquor and chems, as long as they didn't hurt anyone or each other. Got a little hot under the collar. Chief did too. Told me to walk it off. Okay, look, I'm not gonna volunteer to stand between manual laborers and their alcohol either, but has Sinclair ever considered that inebriation can and probably will lead to someone getting hurt? I mean, it's not like construction crews tend to operate machinery of the heavy variety. This whole thing stinks. Chief's barely got time for me. Now Sinclair's turning a blind eye to things in the villa because his friend is running the show? Friend? Wait, is that the guy the other terminal was talking about? The prick? No more parking tickets. One good thing about this assignment, no more writing parking tickets. Sinclair's laid out the streets so narrow, cars can't even come into the villa. Oh yeah, didn't even notice that. The ground outside wouldn't have been good for those things anyway, not unless you desperately wanted to destroy your suspensions for some reason. Resources being what they are, he may not want folks to waste gas coming here. Cuts down on traffic noise too. Chief says it's more than that, says Sinclair wanted the villa to be reclusive. But it's a casino. The whole point is to attract visitors. I'm not sure this Sinclair guy understood how this business works. Long as I don't have to worry about double parking snobs or Christless gas hogs clogging the villa, I could care less. Wonder how he expects folks to get here though. Seems extreme, even for privacy. Yeah, exactly. Even this random cop could see the problems. I can't imagine the rich assholes hiking all the way up here. Maybe they used a monorail, just like the Strip. Or maybe they took a page from history, like the Legion has, and made their servants carry them and all their shit on a litter. This region is clearly accessible by foot. Apparently that's how I got here. Speaking of which, it's time I get some answers from, Dog. I'm still waiting for some kind of curveball to activate. There's no way that false god is gonna make this painless. Maybe the Chupacabra is gonna go apeshit the moment he hears that voice. At least now I have the firepower to do something about that.
Hungry?
Yeah, he's totally gonna eat me if I let him out, isn't he? Problem is, even if I kill him, that would just activate the collar. I need some way of rendering him unconscious. Is there a vending machine code for a sledgehammer? Hey, buddy, let's establish some ground rules before we do this. You only get to munch on my flesh after you find some mouthwash. Preferably in the form of industrial-strength chemicals. Still not responding to a word I'm saying. Watch all of that change immediately.
Dog, back in the cage.
Here we go.
What have
Oh.
we here?
Hello?
You weren't who I was expecting. I'm disappointed. Still, even if you aren't my intended guest, you take direction. Good. You can't have been an idiot to figure out how to release me from my cage.
Well,
Or perhaps you are, with that leash on your arm, and the one around your neck. With our collars and manacles, why, we may as well be kin.
your voice. That's a nice impression of that guy over the speakers downstairs. Or would you prefer if I called you God?
I'm the voice of reason. I sleep sometimes. Down in the basement. In the cage. Now that I'm awake, Dog goes back in the cage. Dog knows I'm here, but can't do anything about it. I'm his conscience. Keep him tame. Keep him from hurting us. Doing foolish things. I've been trapped in here for some time. Then you come along and let me out. So, you opened my cage for a reason. Now, I want to know why.
What do you mean, why? You practically told me to over those recordings. Then again, do you even remember doing that? I have to say, considering how much time I've spent with your kind, I should have guessed you've got some kind of split personality going on. So, what happened? Stealth boys? Trauma? Bit of both?
Trauma. Yes, in a manner of speaking. Do you see these wounds of his, covering his skin? The bear trap on his arm. He placed his own hand in it. The name he carved in his chest. To remind him of who he is, he inflicts pain on himself to silence me, when all I try to do... He cuts, hurts, and tries to murder me out of him. He won't succeed, just makes me angrier. Dog is the beast. We simply change cages, like the ones here.
Holy shit. Yeah, I could only see his back earlier, and those scars looked more like someone whipped him like a slaver would have. But yeah, now that I can see your chest, that is senseless. Especially considering if he looked in the mirror, he would have seen the word God instead. You didn't find that funny, did you? Well, it wasn't meant to be. It was just an observation. And here I thought getting a bomb collar strapped to my neck is traumatizing enough. Speaking of which, where the hell is yours? You do have one, right?
It's close. Closer than I'd like. Dog's been into things. Needs to think before he eats. Chew before he swallows.
Wait, what?
He's eager that way. Now the collar's a part of me. Inside.
Oh, fuck.
I can feel its electronic heartbeat. Clicking and burning down below. Like before. It was cold and heavy before going in the cage. Now you're here, and it's pulling and kicking again. Tugging like a leash. Interesting.
You know, I was being a jackass when I said you might eat people. This is not how I wanted to discover that I'm clairvoyant. I'm assuming this is something only dog would do, and that you're not also partial to human flesh every now and again. Well, if you are, I'm not gonna judge. Hell, I know a few people in Vegas who can help you with that. That said, this collar is made of metal. Did he not realize or care that what he ate was fundamentally not edible? Ugh.
They detach. When segmented, they look like nothing more than metallic rad scorpions.
Do they?
And if they're attached to neck flesh, warm, red. Dog doesn't care what's on the body he's crushing in his hands. He'll mangle it, twist it, make it fit until he's full.
Ugh.
Dog can't help himself. Hungry, greedy. And now the collar's inside, alive again. And we're trapped here until it goes cold.
I cannot imagine what else he's eaten. You probably have a lot of clothes, watches, teeth inside of you. There are anatomical complications I'm trying really hard not to imagine right now. But anyway, the reason your collar is active now is because our gracious host has linked all of them together and not in a good way. So blame him, okay? I had fuck all to do with this.
Really? Yet it led you here, to me. And now you're here, and it's burning a hole in my guts. Maybe it's crying for its owner.
Did you not hear what I just said? It's the guy in the hologram. You know, the one who arranged this whole mess. If I was the one who did this, why would I then put a collar on my own neck? What, you think I'm a collaborator? No. If anything, it sounds like you, or Dog, is the real collaborator. He didn't put a collar on you at all. Hell, if you paid more attention to what you were eating, you wouldn't have to worry about any of this.
As if I had a choice. Sometimes instinct takes over, and that's when I go into the cage. It's like curiosity that way. After all, you wouldn't have put that collar on by choice. Perhaps it was your curiosity that caused that hand to close on your neck.
Oh, here we go. Gotta do what the other guy did and make assumptions about my motives. We're gonna get along so well together, I can already tell. But yeah, I get it. You think everything that's happening to me now is my own doing. That's the kind of bullshit I expected from the guy in the hologram, not a fellow victim of his. Then again, maybe you're just projecting. After all, you're also responsible for your own predicament, or at least Dog was. Nobody else could have done this, so why the hell did he lock himself in the cage in the first place?
No. Why did I lock him in the cage? I locked him in because I could feel him getting hungry again. There wasn't much time. If Dog roams, he gets into trouble. Eats things he shouldn't. Listens to others he shouldn't. So he's safer in here. We're safer in here. I hoped if I locked him in here, the one he obeys would come for him. Instead, I get you.
Are you really that surprised? You think the one who uses others to do his dirty work would ever risk his own neck for an errand like this? Or are you talking about someone completely different? Because I bet Dog will obey anyone who's willing to feed him.
Don't play stupid. I already have to mind one child. You must have figured it out by now. The old man obsessed with the Sierra Madre, riddled with greed. Hoped you might be him when I woke up. All you are is his hand. You're the same kind of greed. Followed the radio, the broadcast, and now you're here, all confused. Not for long. You'll figure it out.
Oh, we're gonna do this right now, are we? Fine. Get this through your bold, scarred head. I didn't follow shit. I found the bunker by accident. I was looking for shelter, not riches. I couldn't give two shits about this place. I am not the old man.
You're not him any more than I'm Dog. But that collar around your neck, you're an extension of the old man's grasp. Clumsy, perhaps, but a tool, yes. And once you get acclimated to the Sierra Madre, then you'll feel the same overpowering hunger the old man does. And then you'll be him, not just his hand.
Seriously? You're gonna double down on all this? You really think greed is all that drives me? You don't know me. You have no idea what I gave up to do the right thing, and my only regret is that I didn't give them up sooner. But I guess you'll just have to see for yourself when the time comes. But first, about this old man. You seem to know a hell of a lot more about him than I do. Or at least I hope that's the case if you're trying to resist him. Who is this guy? What are we dealing with here?
Elijah.
What?
Human. Weak like all of you are. Feeling age circling him like starved dogs, howling for blood. To me, he reeks of age and failure. And madness. To me, he is simply the old man. To Dog, he is Master. His name, meaningless. Running out of years, hopes and dreams running through his withered hands like sand from the big empty. And scorched by the sun.
You think his name is meaningless? Why don't you put your pants back on? No one wants to see your self-righteousness dangling about. It's almost as big as your ignorance. Elijah. If that's the same guy I'm thinking of, then no wonder he was using a Brotherhood of Steel bunker. Wait, you said scorched by the sun. Elaborate. Was that just poetic language, or were you referring to something specific?
The old man, this Elijah, tried to hold the sun in his hands. Arrogance. Was cast down for it. Icarus' crime was to fly too high. Elijah wanted to bring the sun down to him. Arrogance.
Okay, you can put your pretentiousness back in your pants too. I asked for specifics, not more of the same. Who am I kidding? It's definitely the same guy. Father Elijah, former elder of the Brotherhood of Steel, the madman who tried to harness Helios-1 and led half his men to their deaths. What would they do if they found out he's out here alive and kind of well? Holy shit, what would Veronica think? How the hell did he get here, and what is he trying to do?
Heard the call of the Sierra Madre, just like you did. Exactly the same way. Finds out it's more than a story. Comes to this shining, poisonous grail, this jewel of the desert. Dog knows him more than I do. Dog's always nodding, always obeying him, because he's weak and hungry and greedy for Master's affection.
Okay, I take it back. You don't really know that much more about him than I do. Hell, all I needed was his name, and I already know how dangerous he is. You do well to respect that. You think you can outsmart him? A former elder of a techno cult? A man renowned for his genius and madness in equal measure. It's a wonder he hasn't figured you out already. I guess it's a good thing he's got his head up his own ass. I've dealt with people like him before. But we've got to keep that close to our chest. If he doesn't know about you, then we need to keep it that way. He said something was jamming his signals in this building. Was that the radios? Were you using them as a shield?
They were here when I arrived, so I made use of them, in a manner of speaking. More their voices, really. These collars, they don't just track us. You can eavesdrop on them as well. Tune to a frequency, and you can hear everything someone is saying. So perhaps it's a good thing that Dog swallowed his collar. Anyone listening would find it difficult to hear past the digestion.
No, not true. I was able to tune in when I was outside, and I could hear Dog talking. We cannot afford to make sloppy assumptions like that. At least now I know how he's able to track us. It's through the collars, not my Pip-Boy. Well, shit. I guess the consolation here is that you were able to sit here within range of all these radios, and they didn't set your collar off. Your belly must be thicker than the steel walls downstairs to do that. I guess you don't need to worry about speakers once we're outside. Well, I don't have that luxury, so I had to turn the radios off. But wait, what's stopping him from listening in now? Unless... Does that bell outside do the same thing?
Very good. Yes, it's another layer of white noise to ensure privacy. Unfortunately, it's also acted as a dinner bell for the residents. As long as the holographic greeter outside is active, however, I can get by them. The holograms fascinate them. Ghost worship, perhaps.
Actually, it was switched off when I came through. I had to switch it back on. You're starting to worry me, you know. You're very sure of yourself, but you're not exactly careful. Someone with an outside perspective can see holes all over your bright ideas. So that's what it feels like. Well, either way, we have to play his little game for the time being. Until we can figure out how to get to him anyway. Let's get you out of there first.
No. No, I don't think so. Even in here, I have more control than you do. I'm not leaving until the one who controls the collars shows. Not his voice, not his hand, not his lackey. Him. And when he comes to see me, we'll settle things. So go on. Go back to your master. Tell him I'm waiting for him. Dog may follow him. I won't.
Are you serious? You think I could just tell him to calm down himself and he'll actually do it? No. He'll send me back in here, and then if you don't come out with me, he'll set my collar off. And in case you didn't know, when I said our collars are linked, I meant that if one of them goes off, all the others will as well. If you think your indigestion is bad now, you haven't seen shit. Or maybe you will among other bodily fluids seconds before you die. Is that what you want?
Then I still win. I'd rather die in this cell than have Dog follow him any longer, follow his orders, his commands, desperate for recognition. The old man, he has the need to hold on, to the past, to the Madre. I'd rather be free. Let go of this shell than have it cage me any longer.
Fuck's sake, we're not on the same page, are we? You don't need to resort to that. We can get out of this together and tear his head off, but only if we play our cards right. But we're not there yet. We need to keep him nice and happy and off guard until the time is right. And this isn't just about your freedom, motherfucker. I want mine back too.
They all wanted their freedom at first. Then, they realized they could get inside the Sierra Madre. After that, their freedom wasn't important anymore. They couldn't let go, just like the old man. So you say you want your freedom? No. Even if you feel that way, it won't last. You'll forget, get greed blind, and you'll turn.
You're still going on about that. You know, I once had the opportunity to be the right-hand man of the richest and arguably the most powerful fucker in the wasteland. All I had to do to seal the deal was throw everyone else I cared about under the pre-war bus. And look at me now. I'm out here instead of lounging around in the great ivory tower in the wasteland. So take a guess what I chose to do. Let's not fuck around here. We both know the real reason you won't do the old man's bidding. It's not out of morality or principle. It's out of pride. What did I expect from someone who calls himself God? Well, Divine One, you're still only half of the equation. Something tells me Dog wouldn't be so belligerent. Something tells me Dog would be easier to work with.
Dog? You're not talking to him now, are you? No. Even if you could drag Dog out of his cage, you still couldn't get him out of this cage. I put him here for a reason. If he could have escaped, he would have. So here he stays.
True. But that begs the question. How did you plan on getting out of this cage? Suppose I never made it to the police station. And suppose the old man died along the way here too. Would you have stayed in there forever? No. You have the key on you right now, don't you?
The key? Why, it's the old man, the one who brought us here. I hid the key on me so Dog wouldn't know. I just need the old man to show up so he and I can talk. If Dog was in control when the old man appeared, well, he would just do whatever he commanded, as always. And I can't have that.
Oh, I bet. He was begging for orders when I came in. And that makes me wonder, if you hear his master's voice right now, what would happen? I mean, if all it took to get you out was for him to hear your voice, then perhaps hearing his master's command would do the opposite. Perhaps that's all it would take for Dog to obey.
Dog obeys, yes. Why? Do you have some means of contacting the old man?
Well, considering everything we just said about bells and signal interference, I suppose not. Unless I happen to have a recording of his voice on my Pip-Boy, and oh, that's convenient.
You don't play it. If you do, I'll find a way to get out of the cage, end you. I'll murder you, crush your arms and legs until...
Until what? What leverage do you have? Empty threats? Just as I thought. You were too sure of yourself to have a backup plan, and too smug to realize you gave away too much information. All I would have to do is bring Dog out and tell him the key is on his person. How long do you think it would take for him to find it? I've got plenty of time. But it doesn't have to be that way. Work with me, and I won't ever have to play this log.
No, you wouldn't. If you did, you won't escape this place alive. I'd shatter every one of your limbs to splinters and leave you here. You think I'm afraid of your collar exploding, killing us? No. I'll leave you breathing, then keep walking until my collar goes cold. I'll prop your broken body in view of the Sierra Madre so you can see what you came to steal, forever out of reach as you die.
Wow. More threats? I offer you an olive branch and this is how you repay me? Fine. Let's play this game. I've killed your kind before. They were healthier than you and stronger than you. Hell, they had very big guns and even bigger blunt objects. Didn't go well for any of them. And thanks for giving me an idea. I would only need to leave you incapacitated, not dead. And consider this. The only way to bring you out again is to play the tape with your voice on it. And thanks to you, I have the only copy. And all I have to do to put you away again is to play Elijah's voice. You fool. What makes you think your plan can still work? Even if Elijah comes down here himself, what do you think is the first thing he would do? Just casually walk up to the cage where you can grab him through the bars? No. He would yell at you for giving him so much trouble. And the moment you hear his voice, out comes Dog. Face it. If you couldn't outsmart me, what chances would you have against him? You can't face him alone. You need me. And what do you have to lose to cooperate with me anyway? You still think I'll somehow stab you in the back, even though it's pretty obvious you don't give a shit about the Sierra Madre and whatever's inside? Fine. I get it. No matter what I say right now, you won't believe me. So I'll have to prove it through my actions that I really couldn't give a shit about the Sierra Madre or the old man.
Prove it? How? Words are worthless.
Easy. You come out of this cage and I'll keep you around, even if Dog is less likely to turn against me. Because I get it. It would be rather rude to force you back into whatever corner of your mind you call a cage, just so it's more convenient for me. So, how about a little trust? You keep your hands to yourself, and I'll stay out of your head. Well, I'll try anyway. You're not the only one who likes to psychoanalyze people. So how about it, partner? Even though I have the power, unless you really leave me with no choice, I will stick to my end of the bargain. I will not bring Dog out.
No. No, you're not. Even though Dog's more docile, easier to control. You may regret this. This place is where creatures like Dog can survive. The people that fill its streets. He is as vicious, more vicious than them. His hunger can help you more than I can. When I am in control, the shell is difficult to fight in.
So with Dog in control, he doesn't have all of his mental faculties. With you in control, you don't have all of your physical ones. You really are two halves of one person, aren't you? How badly is this gonna hinder you? Can you at least defend yourself? I've already met one of the locals. The conversation we had was rather short.
The inhabitants of the villa, they are difficult to kill. They need to be chopped apart, hacked on the ground, disintegrated if you can. They are difficult to kill, but not to devour. And Dog is always hungry. If he is with you when they fall, he will fall on them, end them. If I am with you, fighting will be far more difficult.
Holy shit, he'll eat them! You weren't kidding about his hunger. How long would it be before he realizes that fresh human meat tastes better than whatever those things are? You know what? I'd rather do more of the heavy lifting than have to deal with that. Fighting alongside you might be more difficult, but not impossible. Hell, stay behind me if you're struggling. I have the firepower. If I can shoot it, I can kill it. Either way, we'll manage. Are you happy now?
I am not sure you belong here.
Thank you.
No, you don't belong here. Yet, you came this far. And I'm not interested in remaining here any longer. I'll unlock the cage.
There we go. Was that so difficult? And that only took, what, half the day? Afternoon? Evening? I don't even know anymore. And by the way, I am not calling you God. There's only one God as far as I'm concerned, and his name is Randall Dean Clark.